8:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Danushka Madhawala and read by Indrani Senanayaka. The headlines. The Health Minister says that people should obtain 3 jabs to be fully vaccinated. The COVID-infected persons at the National Hospital in Colombo have increased. COVID cases among children have also increased. The President has given instructions to issue 93 billion rupees from the Treasury to the Electricity Board. Parliamentarian Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca says that everyone should get together to develop the nation. The Irrigation Department says that the water capacity in all reservoirs remains at 70%. In foreign news, hundreds of children held by IS in besieged prison in Syria. Health Minister Kehelia Rambukwella says that people should obtain 3 jabs to be fully vaccinated. On the 29th of this month, 1 year will be marked for the vaccination drive in the country. Special programs have been organized to mark the day in 1,500 centers covering all hospitals and MOH offices in the country. The minister said that steps will be taken to mandate the vaccination certificate to enter public places. Sri Lanka has become the 5th country in terms of the vaccination drive in the entire world. The minister added that it is the responsibility of the people to get the booster dose to protect themselves and their loved ones as well. Deputy Director of the Colombo National Hospital, Dr. Chandana Gajanayaka, says that COVID-infected persons at the National Hospital in Colombo have increased. Several wards have been established in this regard. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry pointed out that there is a higher increase of infected COVID virus cases among children. This situation has been shown among all categories of children. The doctor also said that most of the cases reported that the children have been infected by the virus from their family members. They requested the parents to pay more attention to their children at every given time. A considerable number of COVID-infected children are receiving home treatment. It has also been reported that more than 50 children are receiving medical treatment at the Lady Ridgeway Hospital for the virus. Nearly 15 infected children are admitted to the hospital daily. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. We continue with local news. Chairman of the Samagi Jana Balawege, MP Sarath Fonseca, says that everyone should work in unity to overcome the crisis that is presently in the country. He added that the people should act wisely at the present moment. He said the previous good governance government should be held responsible for the present state of the country. He mentioned this while addressing the Gaul Akmimana Bala Mandalaya meeting yesterday. Director Water Management of the Irrigation Department, D. Abesirivardhana, says that the water capacity in all reservoirs remain at 70%. He said that there is a sufficient quantity of water for agriculture, drinking water and for other purposes. Therefore, he said that people should not entertain unnecessary fears. State Minister Indika Anuruddha says that the country is self-sufficient in turmeric. He mentioned this at a ceremony to purchase the turmeric harvest today under the Vista of Policy statement. The ceremony took place at Diulapitiya, Kitulwala, Pitadeniya, Vaidyakara Pirivena Temple under the patronage of State Minister Janaka Vakkumbura. The Ceylon Spices Marketing Board purchases turmeric from the farmers. Accordingly, 20,000 kilograms of turmeric at the Diulapitiya Electoral Division will be purchased at a government-guaranteed price of 165 rupees from today. Next, we take a look at the main news story.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has instructed the Treasury to issue 93 billion rupees to the Electricity Board to complete a debt payment of 96 billion rupees to the Petroleum Corporation. Chairman of the Petroleum Corporation, Sumit Vijayasinghe, said that it would help to purchase oil and repay the debt. Meanwhile, Minister Gamini Lokoge said that the government is trying to continuously supply electricity to the people. He mentioned this during a media briefing at the Sri Lanka Podujana Perumana party headquarters this morning. The minister said a certain group is trying to purchase electricity at higher rates, but the government aims to supply electricity to the people at a minimum cost. That was the main news story. Watchlight follows.
The main news story was brought to you by Sidhalepa Vedamahatmya.
A look at Watchlight. The National Dengue Control Unit said that nearly 5,500 cases of dengue have been reported so far this month. The unit said 60% of the total cases have been reported from the Western Province. The Galle and Kurunagal areas have also reported a significant number of dengue cases. Authorities urge the people to clean their households and their surroundings and clear mosquito breeding grounds. That was a look at Watchlight. A bulletin of world news will follow.
Coming up, World News.
World News headlines. Hundreds of children held by IS in besieged prison in Syria. NASA says Tonga volcano eruption more powerful than atomic bomb. Julian Assange can ask Supreme Court to consider extradition case. Fears are growing over the fate of hundreds of children believed to be held by jihadist extremists inside a besieged prison in northeast Syria. Nearly 850 children are inside Gaiberan prison in Hasaka, which was stormed by Islamic State groups from fighters on Thursday. Triggers days of battle. At least 136 people have been killed since the jihadists launched their assault to try to free jailed fighters. Thousands of IS suspects are held in prisons run by Kurdish authorities. The Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces Alliance, supported by the US-led coalition forces, fought the IS group after it overran large parts of Syria several years ago and declared its territorial defeat in March 2019. A volcanic eruption in Tonga has triggered a tsunami, was hundreds of times more powerful than the atomic bomb in the US dropped on Hiroshima during World War II, NASA says. The eruption obliterated a volcanic island north of the Tonga capital, Nuku'alofa. The agency said. Tonga says more than 4/5 of the population have been affected by the tsunami and falling ash. 3 people were confirmed killed in the tsunami last week. Before the eruption, the Hunga Tonga Hunga Ha'api volcano island was 2 separate islands joined by new land formed in 2015. WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange has won the rights to ask the Supreme Court to block his extradition to the US. The High Court ruled today that he had an arguing point of law that Supreme Court issues may want to consider. The ruling means Mr. Assange can petition the UK's highest court for a hearing, stalling any extradition from the UK for now. He is wanted in the US over the publication of thousands of classified documents in 2010 and 2011. Lord Burnett, the Lord of Justice, said Assange's case has raised a legal question over the circumstances in which judges received and considered assurances from the US and how he would be treated in prison. To end this bulletin of world news, the headlines again. Hundreds of children held by IS in besieged prison in Syria. NASA says Tonga volcanic eruption more powerful than atomic bomb. Julian Assange can ask Supreme Court to consider extradition case. That ends this bulletin of world news. Development news follows.
Development news is brought to you by Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
On to development news. Anamal Rajapaksa, Minister of Youth and Sports, Minister of Development, Coordination and Monitoring and State Minister of Digital Technology and Enterprise Development says he expects to introduce a digital wallet to every citizen after the issuance of the Digital National Identity Card. The minister said it would allow all people to keep their essential personal documents, including passports, birth certificates, marriage certificates and exam certificates in a digital wallet on their mobile phones and present them at any time. The minister pointed out that the project is expected to be completed within 30 months. That was development news. Next, a look at sports news.
Development news was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
On to sports news. Retired tennis star Martina Navratilova has blasted a decision by Australian Open organiser to ban T-shirts supporting Chinese player Peng Shuai. Security staff on Friday asked spectators trying to enter the grounds to remove the T-shirts, saying, "Where is Peng Shuai?" Ms. Peng disappeared for weeks after accusing a top Chinese official of sexual misconduct in November. She has since reappeared, but many remain concerned about her well-being. That was sports news. Up next is business news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business news sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
SLT Mobitel's training centre has achieved a remarkable milestone as the first ever Sri Lankan education institute to obtain the NVQ Level 6 equivalent status for a Pearson BTEC Level 5 Higher National Diploma programme from the Tertiary and Vocational Education Commission. An agreement between SLTTC and TVEC was signed recently with Kitti Pereira, Chief Executive Officer of SLT, and Dr. K.A. Lalitadira, Director General of VTech, as signatories, confirming that the Pearson BTech Level 5 Higher National Diploma Programme conducted at SLT Training Centre, Balisare, is now on par with the NVQ Level 6 status. Well, that was business news. Economic news follows.
Business news sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
On to economic news. Singamega celebrated its 24th anniversary yesterday. As part of its celebration, Singamega showrooms island-wide will have special anniversary offers across all categories and host special activities for both existing and new customers until January the 27th, 2022. Since its first store in 1998, Singamega has globally reputed brands and a range of electronics, home appliances and furniture under one roof. Well, that was economic news. Finally, a look at the weather report.
The weather report.
The Met Department says mainly fair weather will prevail over most parts of the island. Fairly cold weather can be expected during the early morning hours. There is a possibility of ground frost at some places in the Nuwara district during the early hours of the morning. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the western, central, Sabaragamuwa, north central and Nuwa provinces and in the Kurunegala, Gaul and Mathura districts during the morning. That was the weather report. To end tonight's news broadcast, we take a look at the headlines again. The Health Minister says that people should obtain 3 jabs to be fully vaccinated. The COVID-infected persons at the National Hospital in Colombo have increased. COVID cases among children have also increased. The President has given instructions to issue 93 billion rupees from the Treasury to the Electricity Board. Parliamentarian Field Marshal Sarath Fonseca says that everyone should get together to develop the nation. The Irrigation Department says that the water capacity in all reservoirs remains at 70%, and in foreign news, hundreds of children held by IS in besieged prison in Syria. That ends tonight's news broadcast. Well, Sonal Paranavithana is there, all smiles, set and ready to take over, and I will be joining him, well, in a little while until close of transmission with a selection of ballads, as today is the Ballad Day.